Good morning and welcome to The Brief. Here is a look at your trending stories this morning. Asian Development Bank to provide substantial funds to Sri Lanka in the coming 3 years. Newsfirst Dodo initiative Gammanda begins today. Tensions in Parliament over the Economic Technology Cooperation Agreement. Asian Development Bank President Takahiko Nakao called on President Maithripala Sirisena at the Presidential Secretariat.
The president of the Asian Development Bank had noted that the ADB hopes to provide more aid to Sri Lanka in the coming year, more than what was provided over the recent years. The president's media unit, quoting the ADB president, says that the ADB hopes to specially fund education and irrigation in Sri Lanka. ADB-funded projects in Sri Lanka were broadly discussed at the meeting. During the meeting, President Sirisena had noted that some of the projects in the recent past had not been implemented under a proper plan. The president had also noted that the government hopes to implement national projects both in the long and short term by identifying the development needs of the nation. The president added that he hopes to direct 100% of the funds for the projects in a transparent manner and will focus on the matter personally.
Gammanda, the door-to-door initiative launched by Newsfirst to identify the hardships of the nation and give a voice to the voiceless, begins today.
Newsfirst Gammanda has provided a platform to those living in rural areas to voice their concerns to the authorities directly. Taking a major leap from the traditional Gammanda program, this year Newsfirst introduced the Gammanda door-to-door campaign in a bid to speak to the people directly, identify their issues and take measures to address them. The campaign is scheduled to reach rural villages in the 25 districts and identify the issues and hardships that they encounter on a daily basis. The three main teams that will be actively engaged in this campaign left Newsfirst headquarters in Colombo this morning. The Gammanda door-to-door campaign will commence at 9 a.m. from the Manalgundu village in Putlam, Monoragala and Jaffna.
The proposed Economic and Technology Cooperation Agreement, or ETCA, which is to be signed in with India, was taken up for debate again in Parliament yesterday.
Lyrics from a song titled Aji Tapara Lalila says, "The world has developed through knowledge in science and technology. People have even travelled to the moon. So are we the only ones who should be restricted in one place? This world has overtaken us and is ahead of us. Is that where we want to be?" Following discussions with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a decision was made to scrap the CEPA agreement and come to an Indo-Sri Lanka Economic and Technology Cooperation Agreement. So that during mid-2016 was decided to sign this agreement. Drafts from the Sri Lankan camp is currently being prepared, which is what I said will be handed over in a day or two. The paragraph in the CEPA agreement on the free travel of natural persons as mentioned in the CEPA agreement has been omitted. So it is our belief that this paragraph covers all professional services, which allows people from both countries to work in either country based on their wish to. We are not in agreement to this. So I would like to reiterate to this House that the new agreement will not cover professional services. As I mentioned before, after formulating the drafts of both countries, an Indian delegation will arrive in the island on the 4th of March to further discuss these matters. The final draft of this agreement will be drawn only after this discussion. It is unfair to criticize the horoscope of an unborn child. They will see the future of this child only after they read the horoscope once he or she is born. We are giving birth to a child who has the characteristics of a king. Anyone knows that the monkey dances not to the way it pleases. But with that being said, we will not obstruct anyone from doing whatever dance they want to. Anyone has the freedom in this country to dance the way they want to. But we will not allow these dancers to burn this country down.
When Honourable Minister Malik Samaravikrama said that the doors will be open for IT and marine engineering service sectors, did he mean, as you said, opening the gates for the investment through these two sectors, or did he mean opening the economy for services of these two sectors?
Once we receive the Indian draft, then we will discuss both the drafts, because it can only be discussed if we receive the Indian draft. Information technology is a service. It is not a manufacturing industry, so this service will be opened.
Police have identified the chief suspect involved in the incident where 2 youth were shot at in Paliagoda on Monday. The police said that the elder sister of the suspect was arrested and was produced before the Colombo Additional Magistrate, where she was remanded until the 4th of next month. The shooting was the result of a personal dispute.
The shooting had taken place at around 9 last evening in the Poranakodawat area in Paliagoda. It has been revealed that an individual has arrived with his elder sister to shoot another individual who is also a resident from the area. However, the intended target was hurt but two persons who were behind him were wounded by the gunshots.
When I arrived at the shop, I heard a noise. When I ran here to inspect what the noise was, I saw a woman and 3 other men. One person was wielding a gun. When I heard the noise, the shooting had already taken place. There was a boy. He is a relative of mine. He was on the ground.
They had followed me for 3-4 days. I was vigilant. This person went and came with a pistol. He called that man, and as soon as he arrived, he shot me. When he shot me, I was very close to him. I was about 3 feet away. He targeted my chest and bullet went passing my eyes. I saw fire near my eyes. As soon as the fire came out, he ran towards the forest with a weapon. The injured individuals were residents of the Poranakota and are 14 and 21 years of age.
My son was shot in the leg. What if it hit his heart? Save my child. Apprehend the person who carried out the shooting.
The 2 youth who were injured have been admitted to the National Hospital, while the 21-year-old is receiving treatment at the intensive care unit.
There are injuries to his chest, a hand and a leg. However, his situation is not critical. The 14-year-old student is receiving treatment in a ward. A minor surgery was done on him. His situation too is not critical.
And that's a wrap of the brief for today. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Aishwarya Pinto, reminding you to stay briefed.